Welcome to Chaotically Nerdy, a podcast made by nerds for nerds. This podcast is made by adults, for adults, and for children with bad parents. Adult language will be used, and adult situations may arise. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chaotically Nerdy. On this week's episode is me, Tyler.
And me, Jarrett.
And me, Ethan.
And today we're going to talk about the Way of Four Elements monk.
Oh, God. This is the way it ought to be.
I mean, yeah. It's the way everybody who plays it wants it to be. We're actually going to talk about Avatar: The Last Airbender.
The first live-action version of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes, as everyone knows, the first.
The
The only.
You guys can stop saying first. It's the only. So, first up. You made this?
I made this.
Okay. Notable actors. I feel like most of the characters are it's the main people that pop up. Most of them are notable actors. But Daniel...
Day Kim.
I wanted to say Daniel Day-Lewis.
Nope. It's close.
I'm not good with actors' names in this. I can't remember anyone's name.
I
lot
don't
of them
remember
aren't.
Iroh's name. It's Paul
Oh, good
something.
good job. I only remember this one. Forgets.
No, I only remember.
No,
I
he
literally-
said, I don't remember.
I don't
Paul
remember.
something.
It's Paul and it's Korean. I can never remember. It's like,
Paul Korean.
Paul Sun Hung Lee.
yeah.
It's Hyung, and I don't know if it'd be Hung or Hyung.
It's Hyun.
Wow,
I promise that was not
Wow.
a Chinese accent. That was me just trying to say
Wow.
Hyung.
I think it's Hyung.
It's okay. You can't be racist.
My
against
Korean-
Chinese people. It's like white people. You can't do it.
My Korean, not up to par.
No, mine is not either. But to me, those are the two most notable actors in it.
Yes.
Utkarsh Ambakar
Yeah.
is the one who plays
Boomy.
Boomy, which threw me off. I don't know why I thought it was an old man. It looked weird. Like, he looks weird in
I
that.
always knew it probably had to be a younger actor that was makeup.
I did too.
Oh, yeah.
That was like-
it had to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just threw me off. Now, granted, the main cast, meaning the main four,
Yeah.
is who I'm going to call this. Aang, Katara, Sokka, and Zuko.
Yeah.
The main four right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've always hated Katara, and I still do in this show. So she did a really good job.
Now,
It's the type of character she
It
did. I
is.
don't like that
I didn't.
style.
I think it's more direction. There was just certain scenes she would like. It was weird. I don't know.
yeah.
Hers was the only one I had like a problem with, but
Yeah.
it was just I was like, this is about direction.
She's not the only part that I
Yeah.
had a problem with.
Hers were the most notable. To me.
Boomies, I had a problem
Yeah,
with.
it was
Yeah.
like direction. I'm like something's off of the direction here.
I am going to bring up a point.
But generally, yeah, really good acting,
Yeah.
to be honest.
I'm going to bring up a point that's not on here just because I want everyone to know
That's fine.
our experience with this.
Uh-huh.
How much have you watched? Like, outside of this. Outside of this. I know we've watched the
Avatar-verse?
Yes. Jarrett.
Everything?
Okay. Not all of us have.
I was.
Mainly me. You've watched all of
Everything.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
we went over this in there already. That's what I was
we
saying.
we might
Yeah,
have.
but to reiterate, yeah.
So-
Watched all of Atla and all of Korra.
I have determined where I got in the animated show by watching this.
And it was not far, huh?
It was not near as far as I thought it was. So
It's like you didn't even make it through season 1.
I did not. But here's the thing. I know parts of the show because while I did not chronologically make it through the whole
You've seen,
show,
like parts of it.
I've seen bits and I've seen episodes of other.
So you haven't,
I have not watched the entire animated series.
so you don't know anything about Lake Lao Guy.
No.
Yeah, that's why you don't know the jokes. I got you.
Yeah.
Watch it. What are you doing?
Listen,
That's a perfect show
I
to watch.
tried
about Stella.
to
It's
at
not
one
even
point.
like
Yeah, it's good.
not even violent, really.
I tried to
really,
at one
No,
point.
like
and I
it's
don't.
on purpose, not violent.
It's
most of the time.
Nintendo violence.
Yeah.
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 Give me a minute and I can tell you like pretty much the exact point that I remember stopping. last
Bato
time.
of the Water Tribe.
No.
I don't know. That was a random guess. I was like, I don't know.
You at least need to get to the boulder. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the Boulder episode.
Yeah.
Have not chronologically
Context is
watched it.
important.
It is.
Sinker tunnel. That's the episode like right before that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
So I got to, I believe, episode 6. Like legitimately, the last time I tried to watch it, that is imprisoned.
Yeah.
Watch it
That's
all
not even
and
in
then
the show.
watch Korra.
It's not.
They just cut Han completely. Yeah.
Watch it all and then watch Korra.
Yeah.
You'll like Korra better, I think. But
Now, yeah, probably.
probably.
But I 100% know that I've seen other, because like I know that I've watched the waterbending arc, like the end of this show, basically.
No, like the
I know that I've watched that.
fair.
So it's weird to where
You were just one of the people you're like, oh,
I was one of those people that it was on and I'd watch it.
yeah.
And
but
then I never was like,
I can't
okay,
honestly say I watched it all in chronological order back then either. I don't know if I did. I don't remember that, but I definitely have watched it all
I
in
just never-
chronological order. Back in about
that's the
2011.
thing. I never went back to watch it in chronological order. And it's one of those things, I know it's a good show and I know I should have. I just never did.
Missing out.
Probably.
Do it.
Now,
Tweet now.
back to the live action show.
Yes.
Don't love the opening. It feels wrong. It isn't Katara.
This is all from my stream of consciousness, by the way. So it's going to be random as fuck most of the time.
It's true. This is true.
It's 100% true. It feels wrong.
Yes. It's just not, it doesn't hit the same.
Even how little, like to me, just pull it directly from the animated show.
I just was like, this is one thing you didn't need to change.
It was not there was no point in the change outside of we're gonna be different.
Yeah.
It would have even, I think it would have even been cheaper to do it. Like because there would have been less animation.
Yeah.
I guess.
Next up, everybody's pissed off about this thing. Aang can't fly, but he can parkour glide like a motherfucker. People are pissed off because they're looking at that scene wrong, or they're just seeing it out of context.
They see the scene where he like literally like floats down.
Well,
or
and like
floats up.
it's more so the scene whenever he goes in between the two, because
Yeah.
like he jumps off of one and like glides to another.
It's
What's the difference? One is flying, one's falling with style. I mean,
it's just because they're like
because he goes
Zahir's
up,
the only
like he-
one can, but like Zahir literally doesn't do anything. He just like Superman flies. Like
Yeah.
I'm here.
And people are pissed off thinking that they
I think
retroactively made Aang be able to fly.
it's not, but I think it's just because like the wind, the air element is much more less visually noticeable in the
Yes.
show. Like you can't see like the little blue like
And
pushes he would
it's-
do.
the
or
little
something.
tornadoes
Yeah.
and the little
Yeah.
puffs of air.
Yeah.
Which it's supposed to be that way.
I can't for like visual, like it's supposed to be real,
Yeah.
but I'm like, it helps like see stuff.
What a shitty complaint.
It's just
It's a real shitty
I
complaint.
put it in here because I was like, we ain't putting up with it.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
We're
It's a
dressing
dumb
it-
complaint.
It's people's like, I mean,
Out of all the other things you can complain about on the show, that is not one of the
No.
things I would have picked out. I noticed it, but I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. It doesn't change anything about the show.
Yeah.
no,
Fuck them.
Well, the reason people got mad, one of the clips that I seen was whenever Zuko shoots him down, whenever he's got his glider.
Yeah.
And he's falling, and they're like, well, just fucking fly.
yeah, 'cause
You
that's
did
literally
it
in the-
earlier.
That's in the
That-
same episode of the second episode. I can't remember which one, but
yeah.
that's why people, because he's like, he can fly. Why didn't he just fly? It's like, no, he can't fly.
It's not. That's not what it.
It's not how it works.
That's not how it works.
Yeah.
Could he have probably made like a tornado to just slow his fall? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That's not flying.
Aang shall receive the rank of master, but not a seat on the council.
That's what I thought when I watched it. I was like,
mean, yeah.
I'm like, why the fuck is he not? He's a master. He should be here.
Yeah, he should.
I know why he's
Especially
not here because they're talking about him behind his back. But
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
I agree with this next point wholeheartedly. They nerfed Gyatso. You wanted him to suffocate himself and like 10 firebenders.
That's because that's
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 what he
what's
did.
supposed to have
Supposed to
happened.
happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, this been fucking baller.
It,
Only reason it didn't because they had fucking Soz in there.
yeah.
Sozin didn't need to be there.
Didn't need to be there. I mean, it's cool that he was there.
Yeah.
But I was like, he could just been like, like a general, like, yes, we
You
have
mean
done
like
great
actual
things.
generals and stand off to the side and watch what's happening because that would be smart?
Fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Surprise. Surprise. We make bad choices.
I'm not going to read this the way you wrote it. I'm going to read it very similar, though. Did you like the expanded story of the Airbender genocide? Jarrett, I know you did because you wrote that you overall liked it. What about you? Did you
Yeah, you know me and Genocide.
He's a fan of it.
Fair enough.
Gotta be a fan of. No, I'm not a fan of Genocide, but I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
There was nothing wrong with it.
It felt unnecessary, but was still fun.
I was just like,
It was expansive, and that
don't-
was necessary to tell you how many airbenders actually died.
it died, but I was like, oh, this is way more convenient than having 4 separate armies.
Yeah.
It's like they have like a festival.
Yeah,
I'm
where
like,
they
oh,
all
that-
come together.
Like, oh, that makes way more
But
sense.
they're not
from like
all-
a narrative.
But they weren't all dead, and then they had to hunt them down, and that's why the Fire Nation was so adamant about going around and being everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why they would be on the lookout
For an Airbender.
for airbenders in general.
Because they're that rare. They struck a very good balance on Sokka being serious and funny.
Yes. As opposed to the thing that doesn't exist.
Didn't they just try to make him funny in that?
No.
They just try to
opposite.
make him serious?
He is not funny in that movie at all. He
was
is
not
just
good.
He is. If he is, it's like very like dry, like deadpan humor.
Wait,
which doesn't work.
What movie?
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly.
I honestly don't think I ever watched it.
Don't bother.
Oh, I don't plan on it.
Sokka's good.
You can watch the first like 30 seconds when they pronounce his name wrong.
I was
Funny.
about Sokka. I don't know if you've written this in here, but
I mean, maybe.
on the TV show, I didn't realize how much of like a poonhound he was.
Oh yeah.
On the show, it didn't register, but when watching the live action, I'm like, oh
Yeah.
dude's got game.
He got yeah. Bro,
I'm broke. I can't help it. Think how much
It's
of a-
true, though.
It's the way you said it. It was so nonchalant.
That's what he is.
How
I'm
much
just
of a
saying.
poon hound?
He's sniffing that shit out.
I mean, in all fairness, he's like the first male that both of the women that he
no,
sees.
not the first
No.
male that UA seen. The first male
He
Suki's
was literally,
ever seen.
like-
I have a point about this that she's just like, yes, I'm down bad.
But
I want it.
First male that UA's seen that's probably from a. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't want to assume that.
No, because objectively, the guy, what's his name? Not Han, or is it Han?
I don't know.
The one that she was supposed to marry.
Yeah.
Objectively, better looking than this.
No.
It's like, yeah.
I don't mean that. I mean like first one that
Just like
she.
that Southern Air Temple.
I guess.
I mean,
Southern Water Tribe stuff.
Yeah.
well, I meant like first one she's seen that's not someone she grew up with,
I mean, I guess. Yeah.
like been around her
Exotic.
entire life. Yeah, that's
different.
essentially
Strange.
what it. Throw a British accent in Southeast Missouri and women go crazy.
Oh yeah.
Or Australian. They're the
Yeah.
same thing though.
Okay. Easy.
Sokka's still a top tier character.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
that's literally my next point about Suki.
Where oh yeah, Suki's down bad for the first new boy from the
Yeah,
outside
that's
world.
my
Yeah, I love the way you wrote that too. It reads like a 13-year-old
Exactly.
watched it.
Stream of consciousness.
But yeah, it definitely is. Kyoshi is canonically 6'7" and lived to be 230 years old.
Yeah.
I think the 230-year-old thing is more impressive than the 6'7"
It is,
thing.
but it's just important that like she's a fucking giantess of a woman, but also was like old as shit.
Yeah, which is a statement to how strong she was.
That and it's also just a continuity that they just were like, oh, yeah, I guess she would be. So I guess
She
she
was
is.
also only slightly a murderer.
Yeah.
Only slightly.
Well, I mean, she had reasons when
Everybody-
she did the things. so-
Everybody can deal with a little bit of murder. Zhao is somehow even more cuntier and sneakier.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
He's not really like that in the animated show that much.
He's much
He's
more
like
of a dumb brute
Yeah.
in the show
Yeah.
than he was in
And
this.
this-
But I like this.
Yeah, I do.
I liked it.
But I was like, oh, you motherfucker. I hate you.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that is a testament to a well-written character.
Yeah.
Whenever you hate them for a valid reason. Of
Like,
how
because
he's
in the
so-
show, he's like a stupid bootlicker. In this, he's like a really clever bootlicker.
It almost seems like in the animated show, he just like gets where he's at for like dumb luck.
Yeah.
Like just like
and just happened to be in the right
Yeah.
spot at the right time
Which I guess there's a level of like dumb luck of him, and
in this show.
but like it's
But that's how it starts.
starts and then he uses his cunning.
But
to
it's
get
like he's
higher.
taking advantage of the situation instead of just stumbling into
Yeah.
it. So, yeah.
Yeah. All is not well in the Fire Nation, but Ozai and Azula are ruthless.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
I was like, oh,
yeah.
oh,
Ooh.
All right.
Also,
my.
that's the I forget, is it this episode or is it the first episode where they have the intro to the Fire Nation where like there's the Earthbender running? It is the first episode, yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, yeah. I was like, oh, this is like neat little interesting
Yeah.
backstory of like the Fire Nation. The stuff we didn't get to see in the
Like
animation.
there's actually a conflict at hand instead
Yeah.
of them just saying there's a conflict at hand. Yeah.
And Bossings,
In Bossing Say and the Fire Nation.
there is no war.
Because in the show, there's never any like hint of like dissent, really. That like everyone in the Fire Nation's not like super like gung ho about this.
Yeah.
And in this, they're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
And
Which
then you-
makes sense.
you got a fucking what's his name from Supernatural,
Kevin.
Kevin.
It's Kevin in Supernatural. I will never know that person by his
can't
actual
remember.
name, and I will never know that person by
I wanted to
anybody
say
other.
Kenneth, but I was like, that's
No,
not right.
it's Kevin.
Kevin.
Jet got that Riz,
Immediately, he shows up, meets Katara, and like
which is funny because then it's
and like
like,
sways her.
yeah,
Like-
Jet is good
Within,
at
like,
being
3 lines.
the utter piece of shit that Jet actually
Yeah.
is from the show.
yeah.
So they did a good job with Jet, I think, because
But it was
I
like-
hate him.
It was immediate. Like he said like 3 words to her, and she was like,
Now,
she like swooned
And I'm like,
for him.
Katara, you're
like,
as stupid as I thought.
It's like,
Katara, you are basically Suki, except for traveling.
I get it. I'm like,
You're traveling Suki.
yeah.
Oh my goodness, no, thank you. That's like the couple thing that I always hated was Jet and Katara.
Yeah. Too many plot points were merged and condensed into episode 3 and 4. They had Jet, the inventor, the cave of 2 lovers.
You mean Abed?
Yes, Danny Pudi.
Yeah.
But she was fine.
Oh, he was good.
Yeah.
Amashu, and Boomy.
Yeah.
And all of them suffer for it. I can 100% agree with that because those 2 episodes felt
Those are the worst of all of them.
like
to me.
very, very fast paced.
They're fast paced and they're just like so disjointed.
If
and,
Boomy wasn't in it, the story wouldn't have changed.
Yeah. It's kind of like he just fights.
But Boomy's a fan favorite because in the animated series, he's like
Awesome.
He's like awesome. He's like
Yeah.
one of my favorite characters. But in this, he's just trash.
Yeah. Boomy. Now, speaking of Boomy, the next point is Boomy is almost the right kind of crazy, but is probably too
probably-
direct
yeah, probably.
and not more subtle with his anger.
Yeah.
I can agree
Yeah.
with that.
Because
Yeah.
they also don't ever like play up the mystery because that's the whole point. You wouldn't know this. You didn't watch it.
I've watched this part of it. This part was part that I've seen.
How are we supposed to know?
Yeah.
You
I
didn't
know.
watch
We
it
can't
all.
trust you.
You didn't even do your homework.
Yeah.
I did. I watched this show. That's my
The
homework.
show came out almost 20 years ago.
No, he means he
it
means
is
live
on-
action.
Yeah, I've watched the live action. That's my homework.
Yeah.
I did it.
But yeah, like in that he is way more.
Skating through just like school, doing the bare minimum.
He is way more like subtle about like who he is. Even like in this is he's just straight up. It's like I'm Boomy.
Yeah.
Or
He's
like,
like,
they're like-
it takes Aang a minute
Like,
in
have
the
to say
animated show
Boomy.
to figure out who he is, and like he drops those.
No,
Subtle
that's the whole
hints.
point. Is his whole
I
thing
know
is
that's
like
that's
a
what I
riddle.
mean. In the animated, it's very like he drops hints as who he is,
Yeah, it's like the whole challenge is like to figure out who he is, even though it's very obvious to like.
and it takes him like 2.5 seconds in the show,
He's
if I
like,
remember
"Boomy?"
right. Yeah.
Not my favorite.
No.
No, and I can agree with that.
They could have done it better.
Yeah,
Just by sticking to the original story.
Yep. I wasn't ready for Leaves from the Vine,
Yep.
but I love this expanded backstory for Zuko and Iroh.
yeah.
It was very early.
It was.
To hit us with
That's.
Leaves
I
from
was
the
just like, no,
I like that they didn't actually sing the song.
no, but it was the
It doesn't matter.
the plucking on the instrument. I was like, it's like Pavlovian to me.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I hear it,
Just
I
the
get emotional. I'm like, oh,
ba-ba-da.
I'm like, ah,
Yeah,
stop,
it's
stop,
enough.
stop.
It's
Yeah.
enough to get the waterworks going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ko is
Mm.
creepier than the animated version, and that is 100% accurate. I had to go. I went and looked up the animated version of this just so I could be.
To verify.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, that's not that creepy in the show. And
No.
then I was like, oh my god, you are terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, oh, this is like body horror shit.
Don't get me wrong.
I don't like it.
I like it.
I don't like it.
You don't go for body horror.
I don't like
I
body horror.
do. I do.
I'm
I
not-
think it's great.
I was like, this looks wonderful, and it's terrifying, and I love it.
the character
Get me
design
out of the
is
spirit
world.
great because he is supposed to be fucking creepy.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I don't want it. I don't like it.
He was very creepy.
Yeah, too creepy.
Very much so. Ozai, Zhao, and the Fire Sage
Yeah.
all were unlost.
Just a point of
Yeah.
like order. Just like something I noticed. I think this is like
You
when you
just
meet the
watch it,
Fire
right?
Sage.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's the last one you meet that was on Lost. I was like, hey, you were on Lost.
Don't love Roku being jokey.
I just don't.
It's like they were like Boomy wasn't good, so we're trying to make some of that come out in Roku.
Yeah, add some jokes to somebody else to hopefully bring it back up. Aang and Zuko bonding over calligraphy brushes.
Yeah.
Did they do that in the anime
No.
show? Okay. I didn't know.
They just like, they have that conversation, but like the two lines of like, I think we could have been friends. And then Zuko's like, pow,
Yeah.
fuck off, Aang. This makes more sense because they're like bonding over like a similar interest.
Yeah. It's showing how they don't
Yeah.
just randomly become friends.
Where in the show, he just goes, yeah, Aang's good, I'm good, so I guess we're friends now.
Yeah. Which is a very childlike mentality
It
of
is.
it, though, so it makes sense. 40 once.
40 once. 41st.
41st backstory connection with Zuko is great,
Yeah, I love
which it is, because that's,
Well, it gives a lot of connection for the character. It gives an initial vibe. It's not Zuko being crazy and zealous about finding the Avatar and being a little shithead, and then he suddenly switches over into being sort of nice sometimes.
It's always like,
He is naturally a
good
nice
yeah.
and good person that is
Ozai's just
being
beat it out.
pushed to be
Ozai's beating it out of him.
yeah.
a little POS, you know,
Yeah.
and it's like, yeah, it makes a lot
It is
more
Han.
sense.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Han.
Han is just a good dude. I mean,
In the
he
show,
is.
in the animated show, he's kind of a douchebag. In this, he's just like a dude. He's just
there.
cool.
He's
Just, I'm like, man, you're so cool. This guy's coming in, making moves on the girl you love.
Yeah.
Fucking showing you up, taking your place in your own tribe. And he's like, yeah, bro, it's all good.
Paku is still such an asshole. Can agree with that wholeheartedly.
I already don't like the actor from his stint on Longmire. He's an asshole in that show too, so I already had a natural inclination.
You had a little bit of
Yeah, I was like, I already don't like you, bro.
hatred
Yeah.
spilling over. No Zhao in Wang Shitong's library.
Yeah. Well, you do see Wang Shitong in the spirit world. It's a giant owl.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like in this live action show, he finds it in the Fire Sage's archives. He finds this information, whereas in the show, it shows him in Washington's library, which makes more sense
Gotcha.
because it houses literally like all the information in the world. It's kind of supposed to be like the Great Library of Alexandria.
Yeah. Next up, Kill the Moon, Piccolo.
Yeah, kill the moon.
Which is, I mean,
That's what I thought of.
I don't blame you in the slightest.
What about it?
He killed the moon. I was like, hey, he killed the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because he killed the koi vision.
It's supposed to.
I know.
I know.
It was just funny.
It's just, he just saw it and was like,
Make
it
a joke.
made him think of
Yeah.
Piccolo blowing up the moon.
It made me
in
think
the
of DBZ. Yeah, it made me think of DBZA.
Yeah, I knew it was the DBZ abridged because nobody.
Stop mocking me.
Yeah,
That's what I thought of immediately. Is he's a guy angry at the moon?
yeah.
I don't know.
Don't even play with hurting Momo. I agree with this wholeheartedly.
I was like, fuck you.
That was sad.
That ain't cool.
I mean, we've been through this before.
I was the most invested in this scene.
J.K. Rowling killed Dobby, and she had no right to.
Yeah, that's true.
And
bitch.
now we're going to try to kill Momo?
That's not even cool, man.
Yeah, it's
What were you thinking?
Why even hurt him?
Just step back, don't ever do it again, or we'll fucking kill you.
I think realistically, I think they did it to show because the whole time, Sokka's very I don't like this fucking thing, which is very true to the animated series too because he's always stealing his food.
Yeah.
But it was to show that he actually
I'm
does care
saying,
about
you would just
Momo.
be like, oh, that's Sokka's pet,
Yeah,
not Aang's.
100%.
Yeah.
This part did make me laugh. The attack signal is the fucking moon disappears.
They just say, you'll know. And I'm like, I guess it's just the fucking moon disappears, I guess.
I mean,
That's a
granted,
good signal.
you're gonna have one
Just
of
like-
two options. You're gonna see the moon disappear and go,
I guess we
I
died.
bet that's it. Or you're gonna go, holy fuck, the moon's disappeared and just not attack at
Yeah.
all. but it is what it is. Han is also a badass.
Yeah. Just out of nowhere, he's just like, I'm
For a little bit.
For a non-bender, he's like out there fucking these Fire Nation soldiers up. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right.
For a little bit.
Well, yeah, but they're outnumbered.
Yeah.
Man, literally Koizilla.
Yeah.
It was interesting to see the animation choice in that.
Yeah,
but it did look good.
Just Godzilla.
It was Godzilla.
That's a cool way.
98%.
It's from the show.
No, it looks more like Godzilla in the live action. Yeah, that's why it's Godzilla, because it's not like just a giant like round smooth koi fish thing. It's got like tail spines and shit. You're like, why do you look like Godzilla?
And then last but not least, your girlfriend became the moon. That's rough, buddy.
Yep.
If they don't have that line
They got
later
it.
on,
They have to.
It's a failure. Yeah.
I just had to include. I just had to include it because it's like,
it's one of the most iconic lines.
And besides, it's he complains, like Zuko's complaining about his girlfriend, and then Sokka's like, my girlfriend became the moon.
Yeah.
And then that's rough, buddy.
So now we're going to move on to the ratings, unless there's anything else we need to talk about specifically. I mean, the only thing that's not on here is Zula throwing lightning.
The next season really depends on how they do Toph.
They got. If
they do not do Toph correctly, it's not going to work.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Work.
Toph is my favorite character.
Toph is everybody's
pretty
favorite
much everybody's
character.
favorite.
Everybody's favorite character.
Yeah,
outside of Iroh.
Yeah.
They're pretty close though. Yeah.
So IMDb, you put 7.4. It's actually dropped some.
Yeah,
it's down to a 7.2 with 65,485 reviews. I don't know if the Rotten Tomatoes score has changed or not.
That's that's pretty stable though.
Yeah.
For having an additional 20,000.
25,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They only dropped 0.2 points, so that means they're probably
It's still pretty good.
It's
Most
right
of them,
around a 7.
Yeah.
It's still pretty stable. So.
You had wrote that it had a 59% tomato meter, which means critics did not like it for whatever reason, and 75% audience score. I feel like the audience score is pretty respectable. It kind of coincides with the IMDb. Roughly.
Let's be honest. A lot of the negativity that I've read about is a lot of stupid gatekeepers, like every other thing, every other IP that's turned into a live action. Even if it's good, and even when it's bad, a lot of the complaints are just moronic gatekeeping garbage.
Yeah,
people.
basically.
Yeah. So I don't like the ratings on things like this, and it's gonna be like this for Fallout because Fallout just came out, right?
I don't think it will be. Have you seen?
I've seen a lot of people complaining about it.
I've seen a lot of people like. Yes, there's some. It's. I think it's much smaller. It's literally just like
it's not going to be as big of an effect on Fallout because of the way they did it. But
and I mean, it's the niche to a degree.
But I mean,
I would say more people have watched Avatar than have played Fallout.
But there's a lot of people out there complained about Avatar the same way they complained about Halo. So when Halo came out, that was utterly garbage.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons. None of the characters were good. The acting was bad. The animation was kind of garbage. This is not that level of garbage. And the people online are just complaining about it like it's the same thing. And it's not.
The only CGI or animation that I have problems with in this is the water. It looks odd. I'm not saying it's bad.
It's slow.
It just looks odd.
Yeah. I have to agree. But it's also kind of one of those things like it's got to be difficult.
It's hard to do.
It's got to be difficult.
Water is one of those things that people will always struggle with in any type of animation, period. Video games, water is almost always a weird thing. There's some that are getting very good at it.
I'll say at least that firebending didn't require them to have like an open flame or a brazier nearby.
Hey, yeah.
Or earthbending taking like a whole haka dance to fucking move one boulder.
Yeah.
Like, we're in the right direction.
Yeah.
Could it have been more martial arty?
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
did it need to be?
No.
I feel like they could have done a lot worse. And I feel like if it had happened before, like directed by M. Night Shyamalan, it would have been so much worse. But it didn't.
Yeah. It's hard. It is hard to tell. Like, are we colored by like what we've had? And we're like, hey, it's not that bad. We've had utter dog shit before.
Is it? Yeah, I can agree with that. Is it one of those things of like, oh,
Like if this had came out
it
first,
could be worse?
would we be as accepting of this version had that version not came out? Where we're like, no, fuck that.
Some
This is
people
better.
probably wouldn't.
Yeah, probably.
Probably not.
Some people
But-
would be more critical. Yeah. I'll say it that way.
But we're older and we're more experienced, and we've tasted the burnt dog shits, and now we're okay with the unburnt.
All right. So now on to the singular episode ratings. Episode 1 is a 7.4 out of 10.
Yep.
I'm not reading how many
That's fine.
because obviously it's changed with 25,000 more reviews, roughly.
I imagine it's about the same.
Most of them are pretty close. I think it looks like
Almost
the majority
everything.
of them just drop 1 or stay the same.
Yeah.
Episode 2 is a 7.8 out of 10. Episode 3 is a 7.0 out of 10, so that stayed the same. Episode 4 is also a 7.0 out of 10. Episode 5 is a 7.1 out of 10. Episode 6 is an 8.3 out of 10, which is the highest rated episode this season, which is when Zuko comes in and saves Aang. I almost said Ong.
Ong.
Episode 7 is a 7.3 out of 10, and episode 8 is a 7.9 out of 10. So the highest one is literally 8.3, and the rest of them are in the 7s.
That was one of the best episodes
It was.
of the animated series, though. Was
Zuko alone, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Zuko and Aang,
Or no, that's not Zuko. That's Blue Spirit.
Blue Spirit. Yeah,
Zuko alone's later.
that's the beginning of season 2.
Yeah.
yeah, yep.
And then now we're going to give our ratings and go from there.
Oh, man.
Ethan,
I think
you're up
actually,
first.
I say this is pretty close. If we'll do 7.5, maybe a little bit higher, but 7.5 is pretty good.
Okay. And then it's me. I'm going to go 7.4. I know. I wasn't crazy about it, but it also wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And maybe if I had watched the animated series, I'd have been a little higher because maybe
you'd probably be a
see,
little
that's the thing. I don't know because I don't have that attachment to things
And
with
I'm
it
a
as much.
flat 7.
You're a flat
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
Understandable.
I'm leaving. There's things I don't like about it, but there's things I like. I like a lot about it. There's room for improvement.
yeah.
There weren't a lot of changes, but a lot of the
shit.
changes that they did make were good. There were some not great changes, but I don't think anything was just like ultimate sin changes.
Yeah. They didn't just flat out say, no, this is,
Yeah.
we're not doing this, yada, yada. Aang's not as jokey.
He's very
still
kiddie.
he's still
He's still
kid.
kiddie,
He's
which
still
is the
kiddie.
point of
Yeah,
it.
it's-
Yeah.
Is that he is a master at airbending, but he is
He's still a child.
He's a 12-year-old boy.
And Katara is still a pedantic buzzkill.
She's actually, I think she's less in this actually.
Just because you have less time with her.
Less time, but I think they don't give her. They cut a lot of the stuff where she is like the mom.
Well, yeah, where like they're at the koi, like giant koi island, and she's like making them do stuff, like to take care, like to prepare for the next trip,
Which
and-
is it's probably for the best if we're
Yeah.
gonna have
because
her
that's
and
filler
her,
episode stuff to
No, not
develop
that.
characters.
but
and-
like
Yeah.
if you're gonna have her and Aang be in a relationship
she can't be a buzzkill because
or
he's,
or like his mother.
yeah,
Yeah.
It is a weird dichotomy in the second season where he's like crushing on her and like, bro, she's like your mom, kind of like she just treats you like a child.
Well, some people,
Yeah.
some dudes. Like
I
that.
know.
Yeah, some dudes like that.
Fucking weirdos.
Saying it's less.
It is.
So that way it makes it, because it'll make it less awkward in that transitional period.
I'm sure they'll break out some feet at some point. I mean, that's what fucking everything's doing now.
Breaking
They have
out
to.
feet.
Toph never wears shoes.
It's true,
That,
too.
oh no, she's like literally like she's gonna have to be a child. We can't. No.
Yeah, that's true. Can't do that.
No.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Use the link in the description to find all our stuff. Our Discord, our Patreon, our more episodes.
Are more episodes?
Our more episodes.
Ard episodes.
Art.
Ard's episodes.
Hey, we have a TikTok, too. I post there daily.
Tic Tac.
I got in trouble for posting too much, so I had to cut it back to daily.
You got in trouble from.
Ashley,
Oh.
our resident badman. She got tired of the notifications.
Oh,
Because if you're friends with somebody,
She's not alone a bad man. It's also Lost and Us 3 are bad men. We're all bad men.
We're all bad
we
men.
don't do
But-
bad men things.
Yeah, we are honorary bad
Yeah.
men, as is Lost. I mean, Lost has the capability, like he understands how to use Discord. Me, I can send you an invite to it, and I can log on and talk to
I
you.
made a role once
Did you?
for the campaign channel.
Oh yeah.
So that way I didn't have to go add them individually. I can just be like, hey,
I just assume Ashley did it.
no, it was me.
I really did assume that you just like messaged Ashley. And
No.
can you do that?
I almost had to because I couldn't.
I thought he was just like, it's these people.
I was literally doing it one night while we were sitting there at D&D, and I was trying to figure out how to do it. I think it was to invite Alex, and I was like, how the fuck?
I don't know. If anything changes on it, I expect that Ashley has done it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
100%.
This might be Ashley's time finding out that there is a player in the campaign role. Maybe she doesn't know that. Sorry, Ashley.
I would imagine. I don't know because she probably just has access to it. And
No, she knows.
Oh, she
I
does?
guarantee it. Yeah, she knows.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening, and we will catch you on the next one.
Deuce.
Adios.